Well, hey everybody, and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. My name is Jake. It's cold as frick out here, and I am right next to Barnes & Noble. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta love it. Love coming here. I just found out a couple of days ago that there's an Arrow Video 50% off sale, so you know I'm gonna go hit it up. I also heard there's a little bit of A24 boutique goodness in here. Let's go. Let's see what they have to offer. I love this store. It's a double-decker store. I'll give you the grand tour, but if you like these type of videos, make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let's start going inside, huh? I don't know why I'm in my mid-30s, but still getting on escalators brings me some type of joy that nothing else can really capture in my life. But before I go look at the movies, I'm going to look at the board games. I had no idea that there was a Child's Play Chucky board game. Kind of makes sense. Trick or Treat Studios, love seeing them making some board games. We also have an Operation Shrek. Of course, this is a thing. Ogre love be crazy these days. But let's stop looking at the board games and let's go look at the movies. And Jesus, I see a lot of empty holes. This is not great. A lot of vinyls filling said empty holes where physical media used to be. 2025 is a weird time to collect, folks. Let me tell you what, just walk in here. They have a good amount of movies, but anytime I go to Barnes & Noble, everything's overpriced. That's why I go when there's a sale. 50% off. There's not a lot of Arrow Video titles even. And the ones that are here are ones that I already have. And I wanted to pick certain ones up in person. I'll talk more about that a little bit later, but nothing here is really catching my eye at all. I already own a couple of these, otherwise I would have picked those up. Oh great, there's more board games at Barnes & Noble where movies used to be. It's so sad and depressing to even talk about. I don't like it. Now there's Lego sets over here too, because why not? We need to fill this space with something. Movies would be great, but Lego sets will take up more space and still sit there forever. At least we can dust around that. Do I sound bitter? I don't mean to be sounding bitter, because they also have A24 movies, which is great to see. I love seeing this. Hopefully they have a 50% off sale of A24 titles sometime like they do with Criterion and Arrow Video. That would be phenomenal to get some of these for great prices. Will it ever happen? Who knows? But I'll always keep my eye out for it. I'm looking for one specific title that I'm not seeing it. We Live in Time, I've heard, is okay. I don't know if I need it in the collection. I saw the TV Glow I wasn't the biggest fan of. Lamb I kind of want to see. I don't know if I need to own it though. And the big box sets, I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Just a second. So that was an absolute bust. I hate to see it. I was in the mode to spend some dough and they didn't have any Arrow Video that I was wanting or needing in the collection, and they didn't have any I was looking for one particular A24. They had a good selection of A24. I really wanted Love Lies Bleeding. They did not have that, unfortunately. So now we're off to the next place to freeze my butt off. You can see it right there. Look at that. It's half-price books. Half-price books. Hopefully, please make me happy. Let's see if this shopping trip will make it worth a darn about anything anyway. There it is. Aww. I love you, half-price books. Yes, this is the place to go. Every time I come here, I always get excited because you never really know what you're going to find here. There's always new stock coming in of movies that have been released maybe decades ago. It's great to see. This is also great to see. Death Wish, Kino Lorber. This is here the last time I was here. I didn't pick it up. I regretted it. This one's probably coming home with me this time. I don't want to play Russian roulette like that again. But here's another Kino Lorber title once again. Desperately Seeking Susan. Haven't heard anything good or bad about this movie, and it doesn't have the slip. Is that sad that I would like to have slipcovers on at least my boutique level movies? I have this steelbook, but it's a great one. I got it when it was $10, but still used at $13.49. Not a bad price for a 4K for my favorite MCU movie. And I didn't have this on the bingo card either, a double feature Scream Factory release. I haven't heard of either of these movies, but I love me some Scream Factory. Might pick this up, might not. I'm not 1,000% sure yet. I'm holding on to it though, for sure. It's so bizarre that House of Gucci got a Shout Studios release. Why did this happen? I don't know. Do I need this in my collection? Absolutely not. But for $20, it's not a bad price, and I don't think I will ever find it that cheap regularly again. Here is a $20 Criterion Edition Girl Fight. And why is it that I think that I would rather pay $20 for a Shout Studios title than I would Criterion? Probably because Criterion go on sale a couple times a year, every 6 months. You can bring your own bag. They don't even give you bags at half-price books anymore. 2025 is crazy. But here's something crazy. Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Silence. Jeez, Beige of Silence. A little bit of beige on there. I already own this. Otherwise, I would be picking this up. Blue Underground is a very slept on boutique label, and they're great. And speaking of slept on, Mighty Ducks, I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. Disney Movie Club exclusive. I already have this, otherwise it'd be coming home with me. I still need the first one to complete my Mighty Ducks trilogy. Quack, quack, quack. Here's another Criterion, and this one I might pick up for $20. My own Private Idaho. I don't know if this packaging is sold out. I really enjoy non-standard edition of Criterion movies. I think there's just a level of class to go along with the classiness that is Criterion. It just makes more sense to me. Might pick that up. But here's another Disney Movie Club exclusive, Old Yeller. I don't need this in my life. Why is it going for this price? $31 for Old Yeller? Who is asking for this? Not me, I'm out. But this one kind of caught my eye too. I don't know what this movie is, the Parallax View, but Criterion again, $20 again, probably hold off because I can get it brand new at a sale at that price. But going over here, we have a Shout Studios edition of Red Dawn. I have the Steelbook, so I won't be getting this, but very close to it, we have a very cool packaging for Rear Window. I loved these back in the day, back when you could get a lot of cool packaging all the time with physical media. And now, it's really only boutiques that are doing it. A lot of the major studios do not put the time and love and care to craft something cool like that packaging was. Speaking of cool, though, The Return of the Living Dead, my favorite zombie movie of all time. Of course, I already have this on 4K. I have the 4K Steelbook, but if you don't own this release and you want to dabble your toe into some horror, and it has a little bit of humor in there as well, look no further. That movie's great. Stir of Echoes, the 4K Steelbook just came out, so I guess somebody returned their Imprint Films Blu-ray. I still have this edition, and I don't have the Steelbook. I'm okay with just this edition. I think the packaging from Imprint is great. It'd be nice to have the movie on 4K, don't get me wrong. I don't know why I pulled that movie out. Let's just push that back, wipe the hand off, get that grossness off of there. But let's continue to look at these movies here. I didn't know what this was until I pulled it out, the Wolverine. Why would you have big beefy box set like this and not have any wording on the spine? That's bizarre, but I needed to check out what the sucker actually looked like. I almost spilled everything because I'm trying to take this off at a angle. I need to set the phone down. Trying to make content for you, it's hard. Let's look at this though. It opens up like so. It's cool, but it's unpractical. I'm not a big fan of the fold out packaging. It's cool that there's 4 discs in here as well. I just don't need this in my life. Sorry, let's zip out of there. They've got some very expensive VHS tapes. Yes, that's $36 for Beastmaster 3. Why is that? I don't know. Half-price books be crazy sometimes, but you can find some deals here if you look hard enough to. Let's zoom out on some Chuck Norris. So, physical media hunting in 2025. You don't know what you're gonna find. That is for dang sure. Started off on a very, very low note. Thought it was gonna be the high note. Thought it was gonna be the entire thing this video was focused on. But yet, I went to Barnes & Noble, and there was nothing to be found that I really wanted or needed, and it's so freaking frustrating, man. There were a couple Arrow Video titles I wanted to pick up. I still don't have the Conan the Barbarian or Destroyer 4Ks that came out last year that I've heard nothing but universal praise for. So I was gonna add that into the collection, and I wanted to pick it up physically in a store. So I went there, and they didn't have anything older than like 4 or 5 months. There were not a lot of old Arrow titles there. In fact, I was watching the guy put stuff, like when I first got there, that entire section was completely blank, and I had to talk to the guy that was around there filling other holes. I'm here for Arrow Video. Do you have any of those? Like, yeah, I think I got some of those. And just shot out a copy of one thing. I don't know if he got any more than that or not. I wasn't gonna wait around and just an hour and a half. He had a giant stack of stuff. I didn't see any more Arrow on there, but it sucks that I feel like physical media is being just left by the wayside in retail, and that's where I came to love collecting, finding random movies I've never heard of or completely forgotten about out in the wild. And now it's just online. Now it's just boutique websites, or you go to Amazon and have it shipped to your house in a couple of days. Don't know what the condition of it's gonna be. You have no idea if it's gonna be good or completely garbage. And when it's garbage, sometimes you have a heck of a time going to try to return the thing that you just bought. It sucks. I like holding things physically. They also had a big A24 section, and by big, I mean this wide, but at least there was something new there. I was looking for one title in specific, and that was Love Lies Bleeding, the 4K. I loved watching that movie on Max last year. I wanted to add it to my physical media collection, but it wasn't there. And I know that I can just go onto the A24 website. This makes me want to sign up for A24, their membership, but they just increased their prices from $5 a month to $10 a month, which sucks. And I know that it includes movie tickets now with the price of the membership, but I have a family. I have a job, a 9-to-5 job. I don't have all the time in the world to make it out to movie theater. So I feel like if I spend $10 a month, I don't know if I'll be able to recoup that cost through movie going alone. And I know that you get a free movie on your birthday. Like, there's a lot of cool perks to A24, and I still might do it. I'm on the fence on doing it, not doing it. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but I really wanted Love Lies Bleeding. I really did, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't in the cards. The only other two A24 titles that I have that were store specific or exclusive were Midsommar Director's Cut. I did a podcast with Dan in real life, Blu-ray Dan, on Boutique Talk about that release. And if I'm being honest, the release was very bare bones and didn't make me want to get any more of these collector's editions from A24. The packaging looks stunning. That's great. But I collect more than just for packaging. I popped the disc in. There's no main menu screen on that sucker. It just says, hey, do you want to play this movie in the director's cut or the theatrical cut? And that's it. I wanted so much more from that release. Marcel the Shell is the other title that I have, and thankfully there is more on that release. But I don't like how big the boxes are, at least on the big collector's editions like Midsommar is. I would have loved to add the Lighthouse, but I think I will just grab that from Arrow Video, but I won't grab that from Arrow Video at Barnes & Noble because they did not have that either. You feel my frustration, people? It sucks. It sucks so bad. But when you get down in the dumps, you keep on looking, you keep on searching, you keep your chin up and march forward, people. And I was lucky to go to Half Price Books when I did, because not only did I find something that I wanted the last time I was there, and thank God it was still on the shelf, I also ran into a fan of the channel out in the wild, which doesn't happen all the time, but it's happened a handful, and it's always shocking when it happens. It's always humbling when it happens, and I love talking with any other physical media lover out in the wild, person to person, whenever I can. It's the best. And him and I chat. I don't know if he wants me to say his name on here or not, so I won't. But him and I chatted for about 5-10 minutes, and then I looked for movies, and then we chatted off and on. He said bye when he left. It was just a cool experience. I enjoyed it. If anybody sees me out there in the wild, please come say hi to me, because it warms my heart more than you'll ever know. It's the best. It's the best. And one of the best things about going to Half Price Books is that you really never know what you're going to find. You're expecting to go into Barnes & Noble and find some newer titles, and they just might not have it. They might have board games where the movies were. I'm going to stop complaining about Barnes & Noble. I will try to go to another Barnes & Noble in my area that I have a little bit better luck with. It's just further away. But I'll try that later. With Half Price Books, you get a whole bunch of used media, and their inventory changes all the dang time. So I was nervous. The last time I went there, I wanted to pick this up, and I didn't. Death Wish, 4K, Kino, Lorber. So very happy that this was still on the shelf. Surprisingly enough, somebody picked up the Bruce Willis, Eli Roth directed remake, and not the OG original, which I've heard nothing but great things about, but have not seen myself. So I'm very excited to go and add Death Wish into the collection. Love it so much. I just love blind buys. Kino Lorber 4K transfers have really surprised me. Half Price Book stickers are phenomenal. Some of the best in the game, because it never leaves any residue. It never leaves any type of stickiness or paper or anything. It just comes off like butter, baby. You see that? Like it's brand new. It's like it's brand new. And if this didn't have the slipcover, I'd be a little less hesitant to pick it up. Is that sad? It might be a little sad. I don't even know if this has reversible artwork. I'm gonna check that here live. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Ooh, it does, absolutely. Even more excited to have the slipcover. That's why I like to have slipcovers, people, because I can change out the artwork and have amazing artwork. I love that poster artwork. I've never seen the poster artwork for Death Wish before. I can have the original poster artwork on the inside of the case and have the alternative new artwork right here on the slipcover. Good stuff. Well, we went through a roller coaster ride today. I went to Barnes & Noble, was so down in the dumps, and it turned around very quickly. Really, the ups and downs of physical media collecting in 2025. It's real. You got to keep on digging, and sometimes you find pay dirt, and sometimes you find things you weren't even expecting to look for. Thank you very much for watching the video. Subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, I'll see ya. ASMR. Hey everybody. That was weird. I didn't know any other transition to do, but if you made it this far, congratulations. You made it to the after credit scene. Good for you. Congratulations. Pat yourself on either side of the back, both sides. It's great. You deserve it. My question for you today is, give me the dirt. Give me the deets. You are the dedicated bunch that I want to talk to right now because you make it all the way through the end of the video. And I want to know some of your horror stories, your physical media retail horror stories. That Barnes & Noble one was the lowest point I've been in a very long time when it comes to buying physical media. But then you have the Best Buys of it all, you got the Targets of it all. Like, it just continues to become a bigger ball of depression out there. And there's gonna be a time to where you're not gonna be able to buy a new release on the shelves, and that's gonna be terrible. But let me hear your juicy deets on how terrible it might be for you already in the comments. And I will end with this amazing Seven hat that a company sent to me in the mail after seeing my 4K review of Seven. They're like, hey, would you wanna help us pimp out this hat and help sell a couple copies? Unreliable Narrator on Instagram is where I found it. They have a website too. They have a lot of cool stuff. They're not paying me to say this. They just sent me the hat because they liked my video, and I really like this hat. So I'm gonna put it on like so and take it off because I have to end this video. Here we go. 7. What's in the box?